Your Excellency, how can Canada and Finland further develop their commercial and trade relations, do you think?
Well, one is working on the multilateral fora because we have seen that there is a challenge for the rules-based world order, and there Finland and Canada we are seeing eye to eye, and we hope to prop up the organizations that are important, like the WTO, the World Trade Organization, because there's been challenges on that. And Finland being a small trading nation, we thrive on having common rules throughout the globe, and there we find Canada a very useful partner.
Um, and so it's more on the multilateral front than the bilateral front. Is that safe to say, do you think?
Well, it trickles down. We have also, of course, connections bilaterally. I'm very happy that we have our Business Finland office in Toronto, and they have been looking on what segments of the Canadian economy would have a good, perfect fit with what the Finnish offering is, because being two northerly countries, anything that is produced or manufactured in Finland will also work in these cold climate conditions that you have here in Canada.
No, that is a commonality. There's no doubt about it. I'm going to turn. I know Russia Ukraine is looming over a lot of our dialogue these days, but I want to just turn to the Arctic just for 1 second because obviously that's another area where there can be some cooperation, and I just want to get your sense of the state of cooperation on economic development and security issues when it pertains to the Arctic.
Well, we are very happy to be members of the Arctic Councils, just like Canada. And actually, the Arctic Council was founded on the initiative of Canada. And since the brutal attack of Russia to Ukraine, the Arctic Council has not convened on a high level. There are some projects that are ongoing where Russians are not participating, but on a political level, we haven't been uh, convening any groups. It is a shame. I think that the Arctic Council is one of those exceptional organizations because there the voice of indigenous peoples are heard because they are sitting at the table together with the political representatives of each country, and we have the common challenges. And as climate change hits, the Arctic regions 3 times or 4 times faster than anywhere else. So we need to find commonalities how to mitigate the climate change and help the livelihoods of people who live in these northern regions. So I do hope that the Arctic Council may convene sooner, but the dialogue with Russia is not at that stage yet. But it would be a shame to lose a body that has been working so well, and as you know that security issues do not belong into the Arctic councils. There are other fora that takes these questions into consideration.
So one final question on climate change then. It sounds like the useful dialogue on climate change in the Arctic isn't really happening now, at least at the head of government level. Is that right?
That is true, and it is shame also because on a technical level, if you look at the map, Russian Arctic regions are the majority of the Arctic region, and they have scientists on the field measuring how the ice is melting and receding, and taking other measurements, and we lack that information, which is crucial for modeling what is happening in the Arctic. So in that sense, there is a need for cooperation, but we'll have to wait a while before that takes place.